Yes, SQL Server DBA or SQL Server Database Administration. Okay, so check here as a database administrator, yeah, how we are working in the organization. Okay, we'll see here. In the same way, like as part of this training program, what concepts we are going to discuss. Okay, so just I will list out once again. And just we'll start with what is SQL Server, how we are working with SQL Server in today's class. Okay, right. So in general, remember as part of this course, okay, as part of this course here, what we are getting. So I will share you daily recorded sessions. I will share you, okay, daily I will share you the recordings, so that you can go through the recordings. You can make if you have any doubts are there, you can note down the doubts. Okay, so you can send me WhatsApp message. Same thing, I will connect through Zoom. I will clear your doubts if any practical doubts are there. Okay, in the same way, I will provide you soft copy material. I will provide you. Okay, soft copy material module wise. Total we have 12 to 13 modules are there. Module wise soft copy material I will provide you, which you can download. But remember, recorded sessions you can't download. You have to watch online only. Okay, this we can download. Then in the same way, I will share you soft copy extra material. I will share you where we have regularly used scripts are there. Generally, we'll use here scripts while working as a DBA for monitoring, plus for automation purpose. Remember, generally we have to work with some scripts. Okay, so as well as I will provide you in the extra material, we'll see some architecture diagrams. Okay, yeah, the things, as well as I will provide you FAQs and scenarios, so that it is useful for us to attend the interviews. As well as remember, with these scenarios we can work in the organization. So once you started working as a database administrator, and these scenarios are also useful for us while attending the interview. Okay, yes, yes. So check here, all the all the concepts we'll see practically. Okay, so it may be high availability features like log shipping, mirroring, always on, replication, clustering, performance tuning. Everything I will show you practically, 100% practically. So we have total setup is there with us. We have my system is there with 32 GB RAM, as well as we have one server is there which we are maintaining remotely. I can take remote desktop of the server. Actually, this is one of my client server. So I can take the server's desktop. We can, yeah, I will show you practically. Okay, in this server we have 64 GB RAM is there. So we can work with everything practically. No need to worry. Okay, that's why including clustering, I will show you everything practically. Right. In the same way, before attending some interviews, we have some our group is it. In the group, I will add you. Yeah, if you are interested towards placements, anything. So in that, whenever there is a requirement is there, I will post you the requirement immediately. Okay, so that you can yeah, you can go through that requirement if you are interested. So we can, yeah, go through those one. We can yeah, you can check that, you can apply those requirements. Okay, right, right. Yes, these are just we have to understand what we are getting with this course, and what are the prerequisites are there here to work as a DBA. So we have very simple prerequisites are there to work as a DBA. One is basic SQL knowledge is required for us. Okay, So working with different types of commands. Okay, basic SQL knowledge. As well as remember basic Windows knowledge, Windows Server knowledge actually. It may be Server 2012, 2016, 2019. I have shown just now one client. For that client, we are using 2019 OS. So check here, like for this, what we'll do, I will provide you recorded sessions like 3 to 4 hours classes on SQL basics and 3 to 4 hours classes on Windows basics. Why? Because to configure Windows cluster, we need some Windows basics are required for us. Windows basics are required. So I will provide you this recorded session. I will provide you for Windows basics. Okay, you can go through that recorded session. Okay. Right, no need to worry. So yeah, these are the two basic prerequisites are required for us to work as a SQL Server DBA. No need to have like C, C++. Any programming knowledge is not required for us. SQL basics and Windows basics knowledge is required for us. Okay, right. So we'll start with generally say like as a SQL Server DBA. So what we are working in the organization, how we are working. Okay. So what is our exact job? Okay. So as a SQL Server DBA, that we'll see here some of the points. We'll see what are the major responsibilities are there of SQL Server DBA. Okay. So then some responsibilities we'll see which we can understand easily. Some we'll see later, but basic responsibilities we'll discuss as a database administrator. First point we have to understand, as a database administrator, our job is maintenance. Okay. Just remember, we are not developers, we are not testers. Our job is maintenance, means database and database server maintenance is our job. Database and database server maintenance is our jobs here. Okay, so we are not going to write any stored procedures. We are not going to write any triggers. Database and database server maintenance is our job. That is the first point we have to understand. That's why tomorrow, even like there is no business with the client, maintenance is compulsory, right? Yes, that's why once we enter in a organization, remember, once you work for 6 months, then it becomes easy job for us. Okay, so again, I'm not saying that once you learn here, from day one itself, you can handle 100% issues. Why? Because we have to learn something while working, right? Otherwise, what is difference is there between a fresher and the experienced person? That's why. But as part of this course, most of the concepts, most of the common troubleshooting, what are the most common troubleshooting issues are the regular issues which you can handle in production environment. Those regular issues I will try to discuss here as part of this course. No need to worry. Okay, right. So let's say just remember like what is the application architecture we'll see. Maybe some points maybe you are familiar with, no need to worry. Just I am going from scratch. Every concept I will start from scratch, no need to worry. No need to jump here, no need to jump there. Step by step we'll go, no need to worry. Right. So that's why if anything is there, you can ping me on the chat option is there. Okay. Or later also you can send me WhatsApp message or email, no need to worry. Okay, right. Check here. Generally, every application, it may be web application or mobile application. Every application, generally, we have two parts, right? In general, main parts are there. Front end part is there, and back end part is there. In general, right? Two parts are there. Front end part is nothing but what user interface part through which our application users are working, where our end users are working here. Let's say you will open PhonePe or GPay or something, then what will happen? So you can start working. Means as a end user, I don't know what is select command, what is update command, where is the actual data is stored. I don't know exactly as a end user, right? Yes, yes. That's why remember like that is the reason. Yeah, just it is a user interface part through which they are connecting and working. So this user interface part is developed with the help of what? Some technologies like HTML, Java, JavaScript, VB, so many technologies generally we know. But whatever the changes are made in the user interface part or front end part, those changes are stored permanently in the back end part, which is a database part actually, right? Here actual data is maintained. Actual data is present permanently here. Previously, see, one of my client was there, CIBC. Actually, it is one of a bank in Canada, CIBC. One of a bank in Canada. So that's why like backend they are using here SQL Server. This client is using here backend SQL Server. Here see whenever we say register or whenever we type here user credentials. So just once you click on register button, once we type the details, once we save, then remember what is happening. Those details are stored permanently in the backend in the form of what? Database. This is just a user interface part, right? Which is storing the data in backend part, which is fetching the data from backend part, right? Yes, that's remember like again, this database part is basically remember it is a collection of databases, collection of databases, and generally we know database is the one where we can store the data permanently. To store the data permanently, yeah, we are using what? Databases. So it may be any database like sales database, HR database, inventory database, any database. Yeah, these are the examples for databases. But what is SQL Server? SQL Server, Oracle, Sybase, DB2, all these are RDBMS products, right? Yes, relational database management systems. Relational database management systems. Here, all these are what? RDBMS products actually. Yes. One second. I think one participant has not enabled audio. I don't know. Mm. It is simple, right? Just we have to click on audio option. I think he has logged off. Okay, right. Check here. Yes, just here backend part is nothing but what? Collection of databases. That's why remember as a database administrator, we have to handle this backend part, which is a collection of databases, right? And these databases we are going to maintain with the help of what? RDBMS products here, right? These databases are created and managed with RDBMS products. That is we have to understand here what is RDBMS product, relational database management system. That's why like so many RDBMS products are there in the market, right? MS SQL Server, okay, Oracle, like various RDBMS products are there in the market, MySQL, etc. Okay, so that's remember SQL Server is what? Now from this it is very clear. SQL Server is one of your RDBMS product whose main purpose is what? to create and manage databases. Okay, to create and manage databases, remember, we are using SQL Server. Okay, to create and manage databases, we are using what? SQL servers here, right? Yes, right. So that is like what is the purpose of here? Like SQL Server, we have to understand. Purpose of SQL Server is what? To create and manage databases, we are using SQL Server, first point. Second point, we have to understand as a database administrator, our job is what? To handle the backend part. Just remember some basic roles we'll see are responsibilities of a DBA. Simple responsibilities we'll see, later we'll see in detail. So that's why what are the major responsibilities are there as a DBA? So as a DBA, our major responsibility is what? So managing the databases, right? Database and database server maintenance is our job. There should be no issues with any client. Okay, so that's remember like database and database server maintenance is our jobs here as a DBA. Database and database server maintenance is our job. Check here, database and database server. Database server is nothing but what? Our SQL server. Okay, maintenance. Just that's why as part of database and database server maintenance, remember what we are doing regular activity. Regularly, remember, we are monitoring the servers, we are troubleshooting the problems. That's why remember monitoring and troubleshooting is what? One of our regular jobs here. Monitoring and troubleshooting. That's why to troubleshoot the issues, remember, we should have very strong knowledge is required for us. That's why as part of this course, I will try to discuss in detail of all the architecture elements. All the architectures I will discuss in detail, no need to worry. Okay, so that it will be easy for us in future to troubleshoot the problems. Understood, right? First point, remember, purpose of SQL Server is what? To create and manage databases. And second point, we have to understand as a DBA, our regular job is monitoring and troubleshooting. If any issues are there, we have to monitor, we have to troubleshoot those problems. Okay, right. Then that's why as part of our DBA, so many yeah, activities are there. Here, DBA activities are there, various activities are there. We'll talk about this again in detail just for basic understanding. Remember, installing and configuring SQL Server. Once again, remember installations like installing SQL Server is not our regular job. Why? Because tomorrow, once we enter in the organization, complete setup is there with us. Okay, complete setup is there. Just we have to, yeah, start monitoring. We have to start troubleshooting. But sometimes, whenever we are building one new data center, okay, whenever we are developing one new data center, in that case, remember, we have to go with this yeah, installations and configurations. But tomorrow, once you enter in a organization, it is not our regular job. We have to understand installations and configurations, right? In the same way, like providing security for data and database servers, scheduling backups are there here to provide security for data. Even like database crash, we can get the data from backups, right? Yes, so in the same way, like performance tuning, if any performance related issues are there, we have to handle that issues. Suppose my query is taking long time, he is saying, we have to check what is the exact reason. We have to troubleshoot the problems here. Okay, performance tuning. So that's why in the interview regularly they will ask questions on performance tuning. Why? Because it is one of our regular activity. One of a regular activities here. Okay, performance tuning. Right. In the same way, like just remember, for example, one production server is there. Unexpectedly, the production server is crashed. This is my production server where the applications are connected, users are connected. For example, suddenly this production server is crashed. Then how the users can continue their work? Right. That is the reason. Remember, compulsory we have to maintain the standby servers. Standby servers. Why? Because tomorrow if production server is down, we can bring this standby server online so that our applications or users can continue their works here with the standby servers. Okay, that's why remember like compulsory maintaining the standby servers and monitoring whether every change, whatever the change is made in production database copy, same changes should be applied in the standby. Basically, remember all these are automated activities, no need to perform manually. Okay, we'll set up uh, yeah, so yeah, just remember we'll set up actually just will set up all these things. Those are going on in the background automatically. No need to perform manually. All these are what? Scheduled activities. We have to understand. All these are scheduled activities. That's remember as a DBA 80% tasks we are going to schedule here as a DBA. 80% tasks we are scheduling. No need to sit, no need to wake up exactly morning 3 o'clock, no need to take backup. All these are scheduled activities we have to understand. Just remember maintaining standby servers. Why we have to maintain standby servers? Why? Because to avoid the downtime. Means what? If the production database crash, production server crash, immediately we can bring the secondary server or standby database online so that users can continue their work. So we can bring the, we can avoid their business loss to our client. Suppose let's say Amazon.in is there, it is down for 1 hour. How much business loss, right? Yes, that's why remember compulsory we have to maintain what? Standby servers we have to maintain to avoid what? Business loss scenarios. And see these standby servers, remember to maintain these standby servers in SQL Server we have something called high availability. High availability features are there. We'll discuss again like log shipping, database mirroring, always on. See here, by using these features, we can maintain as it is copy of database in another server. Database to database copy. Okay, even when database is crashed, no problem. We can make the other server database up and running so that users can continue their work. Understood, right? We'll see all these concepts. I will show you practically. What are the major differences are there between these concepts? I will show you in the tomorrow's class. In the same way, remember like implementing automation. Already we have seen everything we are automating. Automation. Okay. So we have seen that monitoring the disk space usage. Okay. CPU usage, memory usage. Like this, like various activities are there, and regularly we'll monitor. Remember, in production server, regularly we'll monitor error logs. Error logs. Generally, remember SQL Server. Anything happen in SQL Server tomorrow, backup fail, mirroring fail, log shipping fail. Anything happen, SQL Server will write very clear message into error log. Okay, SQL Server will write what? Very clear message into error log. There we can see what is exact reason why the backup fail. Depends on the reason, we can start troubleshooting. If somebody is working with Arkle, in Arkle we have alert logs are there. Here we have error logs. Understood, right? Tomorrow, let's say in your production server, log shipping is not working. You are calling someone to your colleague, actually, your friend is also DBA. If you say that log shipping is not working, what he can answer? We don't know what happened exactly. So many errors are there related to log shipping. That's why he will say that first you go to error log, check the error number, error message. If you send this error message or error number, then I can support you, for example. Understood, right? That's why remember checking error logs is very, very important for us as a DBA. These are so many other activities are there, like attending meetings, so many other activities are there, but these are the main activities are there as a DBA. In the summary, we have to understand our regular job is monitoring and troubleshooting. First point. Okay, right. So let's say we'll see about SQL Server. We'll see how we are working with SQL Server as a DBA. Right. Already we know SQL Server is what one of your RDBMS product developed by Microsoft. Just remember, I'm going step by step. No need to worry. We'll see in detail every concept. Already I have said every module wise. Already, sorry. I have prepared the FAQs and scenarios. You can go through that one. I will share you all the soft copy materials. Okay, chapter 1 or module 1 question answers are there. Okay, like this here I will share you in module 1 we'll see installation. What are the common installation issues are there? All those things I will discuss, no need to worry. Why? Because tomorrow if you put some experience, generally with our course you can put almost all 4 years experience in general. So they will ask issues, they will ask. They will not ask what is log shipping. They will ask what issues you have faced while working with log shipping. That's why remember all the concepts are there. Each module by separate copies are there. You can go through this always on clustering, log shipping, performance tuning, replication. We'll see various scenarios. We'll see in replication, same copy, same material I will share you. You can go through that. Okay, parallelly. Right. So that's why we can say here SQL Server is an RDBMS product developed by Microsoft, right? Actually, it was first time introduced in the year 1989, almost also 30 years back. After that, we have so many versions are there. Okay, so many versions are there. Okay, so just remember but our latest versions are there. 2019 is our latest version. 2019 is our latest versions here as part of SQL Server. 2019 is our latest version. You have to understand. But remember, tomorrow in the organization, we have to work with different versions actually. So already I've said no, one of our client is using what 2017 version. Like this here, like different versions we have to work with as a DBA. So we can't say that exactly we are going to work only with what 2019. Some clients are still using 2014. Some clients are still using 2016. Like this here, we have to work with different versions. We have to understand. Right now we have 2019 is there, which is our latest version, which is also called as 15.0 version. I will show you. Then we have previous version is there 2017 14.0 version. Like this are different versions are there. 2016 13.0. Actually remember both are almost all same, but from 2017 onwards remember SQL Server works in any platform now. Okay, not only Windows, it works in Windows, Linux from 17 onwards. We have to understand. Mac, any OS, it works here from 2017 onwards. Right. So like I said, so many versions are there. Previous version 2014 12.0. Before that we have 2012, 2008 R2, like various versions are there here as part of SQL Server. Let's say to connect and work with the SQL Server. To connect and work with SQL Server, we are using one tool called SSMS here. We are using one tool called SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. I will show you everything from scratch, how to install SQL Server. Everything I will show you. No need to worry. Okay, SQL Server Management Studio is the one where we are connecting and working with SQL Server. Just here, I will type SSMS here. It is showing Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. By using this tool, we can connect to the local server which is there in my laptop, for example, and we can connect to the remote server which may be there somewhere in the network, for example. Means what? We can connect to local servers as well as we can connect to remote server also with the same tool SSMS. We can use some third-party tools also. We can use, actually no need to use compulsory SSMS, but SSMS is a free tool. That's why we are using regularly SSMS. SSMS is what? One of a free tool. That's why we are using SSMS here in general while working in the organization. Okay, check here. I can connect to the server. I can start working with the servers here where we have databases, all the features here, application security, always on, various features we can work with. Check here, let's say I will connect to one more servers here with IP address here. With the static IP, we can connect to the server like this here directly. With the static IPs, remember, we can connect to the server directly. Check here, we can see very clearly here. We can see here, first server is there, first one's here, green icon it is showing here. It is my local server which is there in my laptop. 15.0 version, 2019 version. This is like here question mark is there, we have to understand it is a remote server. It is not there in my laptop. It is there somewhere in the network through static IP. I have connected to this server. That's why we have to understand generally in real time, servers are not there in our laptop, right? In our admin laptop, we don't have servers. We have servers in at client locations. Our servers are there in cloud data centers. We are connecting through SSMS, or we can take a remote desktop of the server. We can start working with. Generally, remember, by taking remote desktop, we'll start working with. Okay, check here. We can work with the, see, one of the major benefit of SQL Server is we can work with commands, or as well as we can do everything, almost all 90% activities we can do graphically also here directly. If you want to create a login, right click new login, we can create. As well as we can work with the commands also. If you want to work with the commands, right click new query. Okay, now type the command. For example, I want to see with which version I am working with. So here always remember, select the command and click on the execute button. It is showing here Microsoft SQL Server 2019 version. Right, like this, like this simple commands we have to remember actually. But if lengthy commands, huge commands are there, we can store those commands in a file. Okay, notepad file something. Just copy, paste, and change the server name something and run the commands. No need to by heart what lengthy commands. Okay, yes. Most of the commands, like whatever the commands we are using in this program as well as while working, I will share you soft copy material as well as some of the commands already have written here in my blog, azure-sql.blogspot.com, FAQs and scripts. We'll use these commands, actually scripts, while working with this course. Apart from that, extra commands I will provide you in the form of a soft copy material. Tomorrow, if you want to recover the corrupted page, how we can recover, how to resolve orphan users. Like they say, yeah, we can check here some of the commands I have written here. Okay, you can see my YouTube channel also. You can see maybe if some new people are there, yeah, not through reference, directly if some people are attending. So you can see my YouTube channel also here. Yeah, some of the videos I have put here. You can see up to what extent I am going to cover our course. Okay, so you can subscribe also. Check here, you can check here my sample videos are there. So if you go to videos, some performance tuning replication internals, those videos I have posted here, transactional replication internals. So you can go through that. Even if someone is working, yeah, you can share these videos. You can take their yeah, input also, means up to what extent we are going to cover. No need to worry, all the concepts we'll see in detail. Okay, no need to worry. Yes, this is it by using SQL Server Management Studio, how we are connecting and working with SQL Server, and what we can do with SQL Server. With SQL Server, already we know we can create and manage databases. Our job is what? Maintenance, right? So as well as remember, SQL Server supports powerful BI features also, like with SSIS, SSRS, SSAS. Sometimes they will ask basic knowledge of SSIS, SSRS also. Just now we have seen, one of our client was asking, right? So these are called BI. Actually, separate team is there. SQL Server MSBI team is there. They will work with these tools actually. But as a core DBA, our job is what? Database maintenance. Okay. In general, remember, we can work with SQL Server. Like while working with SQL Server, we have different types of jobs. Are there? We can work as a SQL Server developer. Okay. So whose job is what? To create databases, write stored procedures, functions, triggers, everything. Then we can work as a MS SQL DBA, database administrator. And third one's here like a MSBI developer, where we are working with what? These three tools. Our course, we are going to focus on this here, MS SQL DBA, database administrator. But some basics also I will cover here, just what is somehow we are working with the commands, but our primary focus is what? On DBA part. Already I've said, who don't know the basic knowledge, who don't have basics knowledge, I will share you the 3 to 4 hours recordings on SQL basics. You can go through those recordings. Okay, right. Yeah, then say every RDBMS, similar to every RDBMS, SQL Server also supports here uh, uh, non-procedural language. Non-procedural language is nothing but what? SQL commands, right? Select, update, delete, various commands. So basically we know we need select command knowledge is required, and what is stored procedure. This knowledge is required for us, enough for us. Check here like SQL commands, whereas procedural language is there. Every RDBMS supports here procedural languages also. Like our SQL Server also supports here T-SQL, transact structured query language, T-SQL here, procedural language. Okay, so basically remember, by using T-SQL, our developers writes here stored procedures. functions, triggers like this here by using what? T-SQL. Okay, right. So that is but we are not going to write stored procedures, everything, just we have to understand. Then next one says SQL Server supports here two types of working environments. Two types of, we'll take 5 minutes time, we'll conclude the session. Okay, two types of working environments are there as part of SQL Server. One is here like standalone environment is there, which is for small scale applications. Okay, small scale applications where we are maintaining single production server, we are maintaining one or more standby servers, we are maintaining one or more standby server. Already we have seen why we need standby servers. Why? Because tomorrow if production database crash, production server crash, immediately will make the applications to continue their work with standby servers. Right, and we have seen that these standby servers we are maintaining by using some high availability features like log shipping, database mirroring, always on. Okay, we'll see that what are the differences are there. The same way, second type of environment is it's a cluster environment. Just remember, basically a cluster is a group of servers, right? Yeah, why? Because like banking application is there, e-commerce application is there. If you maintain single server in the background, how many queries it can process, right? Yeah, not possible. That's why we have to maintain compulsory a group of servers which are connected to each other, which are working as a single server in the network. Just we have to understand cluster is like our customer care department, right? Where we have 5 people are sitting, 10 people are sitting. Okay. Yes. So whenever someone is calling through some virtual number, 121, right? Virtual number. Here also same virtual name, virtual IP will be there for our cluster setup. So that's one group of servers which are connected to each other. Okay. This is basically for medium and large scale applications. We have to go with your cluster environment. Okay, like same thing, like similar to like applications are connected through virtual IP, virtual name. I will show you, already have built the cluster also. You can also practice cluster by using VMware software. Already I'm running here. Like 3 or 4 servers we can create like this. Okay, I will show you this how to set up this VMware also, no need to worry. So yeah, we can work with the cluster environment. So like in the last batch, just we are discussing about clustering concept. Okay, so we can right click here, see whether we are working with standalone environment or cluster. We can see properties, is clustered true, it is saying here. It is a cluster environment. How many, generally remember in the cluster, the nodes servers are called as nodes. How many nodes are there in the cluster? We can see, just have built 2 node clusters here. Currently server 1 is the active node which is processing the user queries. These are the 2 servers are there in the cluster, for example. All these already have discussed. I will show you practically, no need to worry. Okay, right. So check here, if I go back to my laptop, this is my local server, local instance. If I right click on this instance properties, check here is clustered false, it is saying. Why? Because it is a standalone environment. Okay, just in my laptop I have installed SQL Server. Like this here, we can find out whether we are working in cluster environment or standalone environment by using simple commands here. Select server property is clustered, 0 means false, it is saying it is standalone environment. But just now we have seen in our server, I have built the cluster environment also. Just now we have seen. Okay, so there if I run the same command here, it will show us is clustered, it will show true. True means one it displays actually. Here select server property is clustered. Run this command. It is saying once here, it is a cluster environment. True, it is saying. Here it is saying false in my laptop. Like this here, we have two types of working environments are there in SQL Server. Both I will show you practically. No need to worry. Okay, right. Let's say we'll conclude the session. Last point we have seen already. SQL Server supports some high availability features. Purpose of these features is what? To maintain standby database or standby servers here. One or more servers. Okay. Yes. So by using here various high availability features are there. Basically, to avoid business loss scenario to our client, we need to maintain here compulsory standby servers. SQL Server supports various high availability features like transaction log shipping. Log shipping is here one of a old concept. We have some limitations are there. Now we have DB mirroring here, database mirroring from 2005 version. And again, we have always on from 2012 versions here. Now we are preferring here always on. For most of the clients, we are recommending that we will go with always on. Just remember, all these features purpose is same, but always on is one of a premium high availability and disaster recovery feature of SQL Server. Already I've said all these concepts we'll see practically, no need to worry. Right. Let's say what we'll do, we'll conclude the session. We'll see the summary. First point we have discussed SQL Server. SQL Server is an RDBMS product developed by Microsoft, which supports SQL and TSQL. Right. Second point we have seen SQL Server supports two types of working environments. Right. Two types of working environments are there in SQL Server. One is what? Standalone environment is there and cluster environment is there. Third point we have seen, to connect and work with SQL Server, we are using one tool called what? SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio, which we can download freely. We can work with the SQL Server. Okay. Right. Then we have seen that SQL Server, last point we have discussed, supports some high availability features like transaction log shipping, database mirroring, always on, to maintain same copy of database in another server, database to database copy. Last point we have to understand, as a SQL Server DBA or any DBA in general, if you are working with Oracle DBA, same. Our responsibilities are there, monitoring and troubleshooting. Right, database and database server maintenance is our job. That's why as part of database and database server, regularly we have to monitor the servers, we have to troubleshoot the problems. That is the reason I have discussed, like we'll see step by step from scratch every concept. No need to worry, we'll see everything at architecture levels. Okay, so I will show you all the concepts practically. Tomorrow I will never say we don't have that setup, we don't have license. Just you see this video and go. To see the video, no need to attend the classes, right? So many videos are there. Right, that's why every concepts I will show you practically, and I will try to resolve every doubt. Okay, so that's why interactive session, we can make this session as interactive. If any simple queries are there, you type in the chat panel, or you can unmute yourself, you can discuss. I will never say no for any question. I will never ask you opposite question. You tell me, then I will tell this. That will not be there. So if any question is there, I have very good patience along with experience. So you can ask me any question, no need to worry. Okay, so if any confusion is there, or if you get some in this batch due to some personal issues or shift timings, if you have some problem, you have not attended some concepts, anyhow we have recordings are there, you can go through that recordings, or you can attend other timing batches also within 3 months. One more time also, if you want, you can attend. Generally not required. Okay, you have your videos, you can go through the videos. Right. Yes. Then in the same way, this course, you remember, like daily will take 1 hour class will take 7 to 8 IST time, evening 7 to 8. Then we'll go up to, we need actually 40 to 50 days. We'll go up to 40 to 50 days. Let's say we'll see, maybe if you increase the timings, at least if you take 1.5 hour class in future, we'll see possible for all people. We can increase the timing. We can reduce the duration. Okay. Right. So, but we'll go in detail step by step. I will try to cover all the concepts in detail. Even it takes 5-6 days more also, no problem for us. Okay. Right. Right. Thank you again for joining the session. Let's say if any queries are there, we'll discuss those questions. Okay. Right.